Hey, welcome back. I want to wrap up this lesson by talking about Exchange Server licensing. Now, this is going to be a really short video because Exchange Server licensing is pretty simple, especially if you've come from a previous version of Exchange because it hasn't really changed all that much. So, to license Exchange Server, there are three things that you're going to need. You're going to need a Windows Server license, an Exchange Server license, and client access licenses. So your Exchange server itself requires a Windows Server license because you have to have a copy of Windows Server to install Exchange on, and you have to have an Exchange Server license. You're also going to need a client access server either for each user or for each device that accesses an Exchange Server mailbox. Throughout its history, Microsoft has had something of a tradition of offering various editions of its products. For example, Windows Server 2012 R2. You can buy Standard Edition or you can buy Data Center Edition. Now, when it comes to Exchange Server, you'll sometimes hear people refer to Exchange Enterprise Edition or Exchange Standard Edition. In the case of Exchange Server 2016, however, there's no such thing as Exchange Server 2016 Standard Edition, nor is there any such thing as Exchange Server 2016 Enterprise Edition. There's only one edition of Exchange Server 2016. So, what's the deal with Standard versus Enterprise? Well, it's differentiated by the client access license. So everybody who accesses a mailbox on Exchange Server 2016 needs a client access license. But Microsoft offers two different flavors of the client access license. They offer per device and per user. So you're free to choose the licensing model that's going to be the least expensive for you. If, for example, all of your users work from multiple devices and those devices are all connected to Exchange, then it's probably going to be cheaper to purchase client access license on a per user basis than a per device basis because you've got fewer users than you have devices. Now, regardless of whether you purchase client access licenses on a per user or per device basis, client access licenses are available as standard CALs or enterprise CALs, CALs being the acronym that Microsoft refers to client access licenses by. Now, everybody's going to need a standard CAL. But if you use certain features, then you're also going to need an enterprise CAL. And that enterprise CAL is in addition to the standard CAL. You can't just buy an enterprise CAL and be done with it. You have to buy the standard CAL and the enterprise CAL in order to be legally licensed to use the enterprise features in Exchange 2016. So what are these enterprise features that I speak of? Well, here's a list. Journaling. Now, this one's a little bit tricky because if you want to do per user or per distribution list journaling, then you're going to need an enterprise CAL. If, on the other hand, you want to do journaling at a database level, then you can get by on a standard CAL. Journal decryption. So, if you want to be able to decrypt encrypted messages within the journal, then you're going to need an enterprise CAL. You also need an enterprise CAL for unified messaging, in-place archiving, in-place hold, data loss prevention, and information protection and control, which includes transport protection rules, Outlook protection rules, and information rights management or IRM search. So those are the circumstances in which you're going to need an enterprise CAL. So that's going to do it for this video. Come back and join me in the next lesson where I'll show you how to install Exchange Server 2016.